Hi, y'all. It's Eve. Welcome to the Braless Entrepreneur Podcast. We are in our at-home studio that my hot, nerdy husband, Levi, the sour bride, and nerd butler has set up. And I have my first in-studio guest because she lives in Minnesota, and I'm very fortunate. So today I am here on the Braless Entrepreneur Podcast, and we are talking with the CEO and founder of Continuum Financial. She lives in Rochester, Minnesota, and it is the fabulous Jodi Miller-Hammes.
Hammus.
All right.
Correct.
I wanted
Yes.
to make sure that I got that name correct. Jodi, welcome to my home.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for meeting my dog, Holly. And she's going to actually be a star on the podcast coming up soon, but I won't make you do that with her today. But
She has definite star quality.
she is, but
Yeah.
right now she had that cut paw, so she's very hot. So anyway, Jodi, thank you for being my very first in-person guest.
You're welcome.
And thank you for being brave enough to be willing to talk about everything that is involved in being a CEO, a woman, and a badass. So, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Are you
Okay.
ready to hear it?
I'm so ready to hear it. Okay. I'm going to get right to it. So, I met you through a friend in Rochester because you're putting on a fabulous event
Mhm.
coming up. So, let's hear about the event first because that's how we met, right?
Sure.
Tell me about the event.
Yeah. So we're having a women's empowerment event on June 25th. It's at the International Event Center in Rochester, and it's a morning event. We wanted to make sure that women could still have, the second half of the day to themselves or for it to go back to work. But the purpose of the event is to really gain knowledge around all aspects financial, because so often we don't talk about finances, and that's been my primary career as a financial advisor. And we find that in a lot of cases women take the second seat to the male in the relationship in terms of who makes financial decisions or perhaps who's the breadwinner. But a lot of times women end up on their own at some point in their life and don't have the skills and don't know who to turn to. And so we're hosting an event. It's a free event just to talk about all topics financial, from cash flow and budgeting and debt management to investing and tax investing or tax savings while you're investing, strategies around that, estate planning, insurance. I mean, nobody wants to talk about insurance, but insurance is a really important aspect of our life, and providing education around those topics in a very safe space so that it's not a salesy environment, but really a place where women can come together and share, ask questions, and walk away feeling more empowered.
And this is on in Rochester, Minnesota,
Correct.
June 24th,
Fifth.
25th.
June
I'm trying
25th.
here
Yep.
in the morning. And how can somebody get a ticket if they're looking at it?
Yeah, we do have a QR code that I
Yeah.
don't have handy,
Yeah,
but
yeah, no, but what site would they go to online?
Continuum Financial Group.
So
We
you
do have it.
group.
Excuse me. Yes, we have it on our website.
Okay.
And so there's a spot that you can register online, and the speakers are listed, which, by the way, Eve did not toot her horn, but she is actually our keynote speaker, and we're very excited to have her be our guest.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
So if they want to check it out and register, it's continuumfinancialgroup.com. So y'all, I get to keynote to speak to women who are taking control of their finances, getting this education, networking with a great group of women. Only the mornings, so you still have time to go out to lunch and do whatever you got to do. This is on June 25th. I'm going to be doing the keynote on empowering women, taking control of your finances. There's incredible speakers. So if you want to come and join us, we're going to share a link with you. All right. So I have heard that you have been running this company for quite a while now. So tell me how long you've been doing it and like why finance? Of all the things on earth you can do, why finance?
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start. So I was the oldest of three daughters on a farm. I grew up in New Richland, Minnesota, and learned very early on that understanding finance was going to be important for me. My father instilled that in me, and he got me started investing when I was probably around 14, maybe 13 years old, and took every dime I made, which we did a lot of odd jobs, babysitting, baling hay, walking beans. Every dollar I made, he took from me and put it into my investments, my mutual funds.
Like you didn't keep any of it?
Didn't keep any of it.
How
He
did you
said,
feel about that?
well, At the time, I had mixed feelings because he
Right.
said, I'll provide to you everything you need. So if you need something for school, you need clothing, you need gas money, I will provide all of that for you. So he
Mhm.
always had a bit of a governor on me.
Sure.
But all of the money that I made got invested, and I got to learn about how investments work. I had to watch my ticker symbol in the newspaper. It was back before
Yeah.
the internet. And so he would quiz me, how's your IDS growth fund doing? And I needed to know. I also learned to do taxes because he came home one day and put the tax booklet on the kitchen counter and said, you have to prepare your taxes because you had dividends and capital gains from your mutual funds. So I figured out how to do that as a teenager and built my college fund by having those odd jobs. So I saw the power of compounding interest, capital gains, and the growth of my investment. The challenge was once all that money was depleted after I was out of college, while I was in college, when I got out of college, I was very antsy. Like I felt like I need to get that fund rebuilt again because it
Sure.
felt very uncomfortable not having investments when I had already had investments for a number of years.
Got it.
So I started in my first job and started working with my coworkers and coaching them around, why are you not in your 401k? And
Mhm.
was showing them compounding and the value of that. And they're like, where did you learn this? Like, you're 22 years old and you're talking to us as 40-year-olds around what we should be doing with our finances. So without even realizing I was a financial advisor, or before I really was, I was
Yeah.
doing it just because of my experience. And so in those first 4 years of working out of college, I found myself struggling with, I wasn't challenged in my role. I didn't know what I really wanted to be. I had a business degree, but I'd never thought about a financial advisor as an actual role. So I
Yeah.
had not sought that out, but I made a list of all the things that I wanted in my career and the things that I didn't want. And when I got through the list, it was a pretty short list because I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I know that I worked harder than most people around me. And so I didn't want a ceiling on what I could make, and I wanted to be responsible for the results. So being self-employed was something that came through that process of the T chart of what I want and what I didn't want.
Sure.
And then it narrowed down pretty quickly to financial advisor that fit that. And then I started going out and interviewing companies.
Hmm.
It turned out that I ended up at IDS, which was the company that I started my first mutual funds with years ago, which is now Ameriprise. It's actually
Yeah.
the company that I still have my franchise with. So,
I did not realize that. That's
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's how I got into financial planning
Do you
is
feel like did your dad do that with all three sisters, or was it just like is your dad like a feminist? Like, what's the story?
that's a good question. I don't think that he did. Probably me being the oldest, and then I think I just really glommed onto it because it was a natural fit for me. I mean,
Got it.
it's definitely been my life's work. I feel like it was a calling. I just got introduced to it at a young age, but I struggled with, like, he set out this example as a farmer. He said, I never worked a day in my life. I love what I do. I love seeing the crops come up in the field. I love the green rows. I love the animals. I love getting up every day and going to work. It's my life. It's who I am.
Yeah.
It's not what I do. And
Mhm.
so I wanted that for myself. I didn't want a job. I wanted something that never felt like work. And that's why I was so desperately seeking out, like, what is it that I'm going to do with the rest of my life? Because I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to have a purpose. And then financial planning actually solved all those issues for me. My youngest sister actually came to work with me for a number of years. And ultimately, she ended up buying a tax practice from me that I had built from scratch. And she decided she wanted to take that route. So she too has had an interest in numbers and finance. It was just a different track. It was accounting. My middle sister ended up as a school teacher. So, elementary school teacher never really, as far as I know, took the interest in finance that the two of us others did.
I, I admire teachers. My mom was a teacher, and I can't do it. I'm not that nice. Your sister sounds she sounds very nice. Okay, I want to ask something. So you knew this is what you wanted to do. It came from your dad. You were good at it. I am horrible at math, and I know that like sounds like such a typical thing that people laugh about women saying, right?
Mhm.
I don't say it. I've never like before I heard people saying that, I've never said that because I'm a woman. I just don't like it. I like English. I like sales. And Levi always laughs because he says, I don't understand numbers. until you put a dollar sign in front of it. And then suddenly I'm like,
He's interested.
7.256. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I know exactly what, and then it's kind of true. But it just doesn't hold my interest other than that. But like, I think you're in this field that my perception, because I'm not familiar, like highly in the area of finance, but like a lot of the financial advisors or executives I know are men. So what is the split of the industry? Like, are you an anomaly
I'm
or
an anomaly.
not just for financial advisors, but owning a financial
Definitely an
advising company?
anomaly, right?
Okay.
Also at the level of success we've had.
Doesn't
So
how does that make you feel?
um mixed. I'm proud of what we've done, but I also struggle with never being satisfied. As a
Okay.
visionary, I'm always looking to the next goal. I'm always moving the target because I know
Right.
we can do more. We can do better.
We're so the same. We're so the same. I always struggle with that, trying to like get to contentment. And
Mhm.
I found that with money, I'm never at the level of contentment.
'Cause there's never enough.
Like I
It's
just
an
it's
interesting
not even
question is how
so much
much
that
is
it's not
enough,
enough.
right?
I think I have numbers that would be enough. I just like it. I just like making more money. It
Mhm.
I think it's a very typically male characteristic of me that the more money I'm making, I can look in the mirror and be like, I look amazing today because I just closed a big ass deal. Like,
It's a
or
measurement of
yeah,
success. I
or
mean,
do I
it's
look fat in the mirror because like I lost a deal or something, or made a client not as happy as I wanted them to. So I find that very interesting that I associate that with like male or female. And a lot
mhm.
of people do. But here you are.
It's more acceptable, I think, for a
Yeah,
male to think that way than for a
right?
female. But I will tell you, even though that success in our business, especially, is measured with dollar signs, whether
Sure.
it's dollar signs on our client statements or dollar signs in terms of what our firm is generating because of the number of clients we're serving, my focus has always been on do the right thing every single time, and everything else will fall into place. And that's been my mantra. I mean, my goal when I first started, was happy if I could make $30,000.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I mean, I thought I could be content on that as long as I'm helping people. Well, I just ended up helping so many people that we had to continue to add to our team, add to our staff, add to our advisors, add to our systems and structure. And it just continues to evolve. And it's really been exponential. But it wasn't about this isn't my financial target. It was about serving people and serving them well. And I think those two, I mean, the success has happened because we have served people so well.
I think that is beautiful. And I know a lot of successful people, more successful than me, like you are, that say that. I have never experienced that. I have never been like, I'm just going to do what I love and treat people well, and the money will come back to me. I feel like I've always had to be like, I'm going to bust my ass and make things work and absolutely treat people well because I like to sleep at night and I like to make the world a better place. That's just
Hmm.
natural. But man, it never just like happened. Like, I would like to be cool. My best friends like you're like that, where you're like, if I just do the right thing, the money will follow.
But I work very hard.
Oh, I know. You
So
bust your ass. I guess I would like to have that view of the world. Like, kind of like that's kind of like contentment if you think about
Mhm.
it, right? Like I know the world will work out if I continue to just treat people the right way. Like that's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but I still struggle with
Amazing.
contentment
Yeah?
for sure. Yeah, just because I'm always looking for something new, exciting, challenging.
Sure. Okay, so let's talk about that. So you've been running this company for how many years?
Well, I started as an advisor in 94,
Mhm.
and I've had different seasons of life. So I started as an advisor, became a training manager, then became an associate district manager, ultimately became a VP with the Ameriprise for 2 years. Stepped back out of that role, realizing once again I needed to work for myself. I was a great employee, but I was a miserable employee because it was
Mm.
somebody else's goals. And that's not what drives me. So I went back out, started private practice again with a partner who was my leader at that time. So we worked together for 10 years and then had a difference in vision, which vision, mission, values have to align for a partnership to work. And
Yeah.
so it was a pretty, I would say, amicable separation because we clearly knew we were looking at different destinations. So sold off a good chunk of my practice, went back into private practice with myself and a part-time person.
Mhm.
That was in 2013. We're now up to 18 people in our team, and I'm on the cusp of a merger with another larger team. So there's been quite a variety of roles in that period of time, but really my practice as it looks today, where it's been me as the sole founder and growing, has been since 2013.
That's a long time. Okay, and you said you have about 18
Mm-hmm.
team members right now.
Yep.
Um, I think a lot of people, I say this all the time, but like 88% of women-owned businesses are making less than $100,000 a year. It's absolute bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's bull crap. And I think it goes back to kind of the attitude that you have that I really like, that I think a lot of other women entrepreneurs need to hear, which was when you said, I treated people right and I made money. I see so many women have a product or a service that they put out into the world that makes the world a better place, and they feel as if they don't deserve compensation for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me freaking crazy.
We
And
struggle with that within our firm of trying to get people to
really?
charge for the value of the advice that we really bring to the table. And we have to talk about that, what our fee is, what it should be, what it is, and what the
Right.
value to the client really is.
And not to say that there aren't some men that struggle with this. Like these are, I know I'm speaking in stereotypes. I totally understand that. Um, but I think a lot of times women feel as if their nurturing, their help, their support, their product or their service that they're bringing out into the world is not worth compensation to them. So I feel like when your product or your service is making the world a better place, it should also be making the world a better place for you
For you
and
as
your
well.
family.
Right.
And that you should be getting paid what that work is worth. You should not be expected to undervalue it. You should not be expected to give it away. And I'm gonna say, like, I know we talk about the disparities in pay in companies, but some of that 88% being under 100,000 is because women are not always being paid worth the work they're doing or putting the price on it that it needs to be or
So it's
demanding to be compensated.
self-inflicted, is what you're
I
saying?
do.
Yeah.
I think some of it's self-inflicted. And now we can sit here and say, "Oh, well, Eve, you suck. You're blaming women for the whole thing." Look, dude, I've had my prices too low before because like I didn't value myself high enough, and it was hard to make those adjustments. But I got the heck over it. I do want pay equality. I do want
Mm-hmm.
money equality. I do want more than 2% of women-owned entrepreneurs to make more than $1 million a year. And the only people I can control in this world is me. Like
Right.
that's the only thing I can do.
There's a second side of that. It's
Tell me.
not asking for enough compensation, but the other side of it is over delivering
Mm,
to offset. So we get our prices up and then it becomes an over delivering because we feel guilty because we're getting paid. And
I've
always,
never thought of that. I really have not.
yeah, I was actually at a Vistage meeting last week and one of our speakers had history with a financial planning firm. And he actually talked about that specifically, that there is a problem of over delivering because
That's
if
like
you're,
giving it away.
it's like giving it away, right? Because you want to impress, want to impress, want to impress, want to please. I mean, it's a business where
Right.
referrals are the foundation
Yeah.
of our growth. And so you want to please people, but then you end up giving things away, as you phrased it, which is still undercharging because it consumes you. Because then you're focused on what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And you lose
Sure.
yourself. And then you also run out of time in terms of what does your week look like to always be prospecting.
I have never heard of that before. That is really interesting. I definitely always over deliver for my clients within limits, right? Within
Hmm.
limits of the work, always giving them more than they expect, but not like to the detriment of my life or to a point where it is unfair to me to be able to continue that level of work. But I had not heard that before. Thanks for sharing that with me. So you're in Vistage. I was in Vistage for a long time. I used to be a Vistage speaker. You use EOS,
Yes.
right? I
Yep.
used EOS for two of my companies. Um, it's interesting to me because actually I don't meet a ton of women because like let's be honest, EOS and Vistage are not cheap.
No, they're not
They are
cheap.
not freaking cheap. And if you don't know what that is, Vistage is an incredible CEO group. I don't know how many members now. There was like
But
20
it's
something
worldwide.
thousand back in the day. I don't know
Mhm.
how many now. Great organization, has in-person meetings with a small group of around 12 CEOs in your area. And it's really amazing. It has speakers and it has camaraderie and it's great. And then EOS is Entrepreneurial Operating System, which is a system by which you implement with your strategy, your direction. And it really helped me with 2 companies for revenue growth.
Create structure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
accountability,
a lot,
clarity of vision. We're all heading the right direction.
absolutely.
Get
Right
all the
person,
get
right
all the
seat.
yep, all the oars in the water
Yeah.
going the same direction, the same pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see, I wonder your thoughts on like why more women entrepreneurs don't invest in not necessarily those, but services like those, mentoring, coaching, training, strategy, and that. Do you think it's because they're not making enough money to?
I think that has a lot to do
Yeah.
with it, and people are afraid to invest in something like that versus take home the paycheck
Good point.
or hire more people. I mean, there's always a choice. There's resources you have a finite amount of
Right.
resources, and so you have to decide where to allocate it. For me, I've just been a perpetual student, and so
Yeah.
I want to surround myself with people that are better than me
Sure.
and that are looking for ways to make the world better, make their business better, or treat their humans better, whatever the case might be. And I can't do that alone.
Yeah.
And so those organizations have given me leadership structure. It's given me personal coaching,
Yeah.
having that sounding board, because there's not a lot of women that are very interested in talking about the things that I think about every day.
I know that's why I was so excited that I met you. Because I love talking about business.
Mhm. And when I
Like,
met Eve, I took my bra off and said, "Hey, look."
we were at a concert. It's great. But you have kids.
Yes.
You're married. I have
Mhm.
kids. I'm married. Let's talk about our kids for 5 minutes.
Sure.
And then let's move on. Like that's what
So
I
we
want
can
to say
include
to
grandbaby
women.
too
Yeah,
then?
we can talk
Yeah.
about grandbabies because they're so cute and that kind of thing. But yeah, like a lot of times that's honestly, that's why I created the Braless Entrepreneur. Uh, I wanted to be surrounded by other women who wanted to talk a lot about business and then also fun and life and kids and vacation and wine and
Mhm.
they
Hockey.
curse. Hockey, yeah, no, not sports, but she likes sports. But yeah, like I don't know. Sometimes when I'm talking with a woman who's not an entrepreneur, um, I don't find as much in common,
Mhm.
right? And
It's hard.
I lose interest, and I'm sure they're like, Eve, shut up. Who cares about your revenue? You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
get it. I totally get it.
Why are you chasing that? You've already got so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, because I like to.
It's because of
It's my
it's
sport.
the journey. It's what we enjoy doing. It's again, it's not about the ultimate goal of a dollar sign or
Yeah.
number of clients or whatever the case might be. It's about what I do every day.
I kind of
Yeah.
like the money.
It's definitely like it's a side perk for
Is
sure.
it? Okay,
Yeah.
side part. I'll try to say it like that. As you can see, Jody is way nicer than that. Tell us about your
There are
grandbaby.
people that would definitely not agree with that.
I don't know. Okay, so I want you to know, I know y'all are not usually used to seeing me like this, but Jody came over, so I put on lipstick and lip gloss and mascara because Jody, what's it like? You go to an office every day, right?
Most days, yep.
But like, what's that like? You have to wear a bra every day. I mean,
I
maybe
know.
you
It's like the
don't. I
first
don't
thing
know.
I do.
Like,
I'm
maybe
on
you
the way
don't.
home in the car. I'm buckling that
Yeah,
sucker.
I don't because I work at home and I just scoop my monitor up and
Mhm.
I can work in my pajamas.
Mhm.
Like, I don't remember. It's been many years now since I went to an office and had to wear a bra. I do wear a bra when I leave the house. Nobody be scared. But do you like dressing up every day? It sounds terrible. Tell me the truth. I mean, you're
I
cute.
never wear dressy
Yeah.
clothes. I'm always more
This is so dressy for me.
the what do they call it? Business casual, so it's comfortable. But yeah, the bra can absolutely go. If I'm at
Yeah.
home, there's definitely no bra on.
Okay.
My kids do make comments like, "Mom, there's people coming over. Go do something." Like
It's their choice to come over, Jody, isn't it?
we don't all need to see all that, but
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. So what's next? Like what's coming up for you next? Where's life going?
yeah, it's a good question. I'm trying to figure that out. So, I've been doing this for 32 years and was really struggling with, do I spend my time, because I was running out of time. There's only so much you can do in a week's time or in a day's
Sure.
time. And as being CEO and founder of the firm and visionary, as well as the senior advisor within the group, I had a lot of responsibility. I was still the primary revenue producer as well as leading the practice. And I felt like I had my feet in two boats and the boats are heading opposite directions. And we all know where that picture goes, right? I'm either going to fall in one boat or the other. I'm going to fall in the water. I decided that replacing myself as CEO was probably the biggest challenge that I was going to face because
Right.
you have to match the right vision, mission, values. You have to have teams that align. And I found that person. So I've been working like the last 4 to 5 years pretty diligently on trying to figure out, is there a younger group of advisors that can come in and work through the ranks and someone will sort of like appear or be
Sure.
developed into that person, but I really wasn't seeing that happening. And I didn't want to run out of time. I was really trying to be deliberate about who takes the reins of this company and leads it forward in the future in a way that's better. I don't want to leave it and have the company like slip backwards. I want to have the same expectations of excellence. And so finding that right leader was very important to me, which I've now found, which allows me to step back into advisor role alone. So I don't need to retire. I am able to retire some of my responsibilities by handing them over to a trusted leader, but now take time to really think about who are the clients that I want to serve. And I've narrowed down my scope pretty considerably already, but now my next chapter involves working with other business owners that are going through the struggle that I've gone through of trying to figure out, how do I exit this business? I
Yeah.
built this, but I want it to live on. And roughly 13% of businesses ever sell,
Mm,
which is
I didn't know
a
that.
very low number. So you think
Right.
about the number of people that pour their blood, sweat, and tears, their time away from their family into a business and then ultimately can't get value out of it on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my SEPA designation, which is a certified exit planning advisor 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, roughly,
Yeah.
and just have been diving into understanding what it is that business owners go through. And it's like, well, I know all this. I've been living this. I understand
Right.
like the emotional pull of like somebody taking over raising your baby,
Yeah.
back to the kids. I mean, it's your baby when you've built something. So helping business owners work through, how do I make my business as valuable as possible so that when I do decide that I want to exit, there are buyers that are there, and cultivating, who might be my potential advisors, but really building off of EOS, what infrastructure needs to be in place in order for leadership to be there, a strong leadership team without the owner centricity.
Mm-hmm.
Because many business owners are like the center of the world for the business. And if you remove that person, things start to fall apart, which is why so many businesses don't end up selling. They don't have that succession in place. So
Yeah.
I want to work with other business owners that are struggling either on the personal side of what do I do next? Like, what does my life look like if I remove all these activities that consume me day to day? And I also want to work with individuals that are interested in philanthropy. So a lot of times those two things go hand in hand. If you've got a large business sale, there's tax issues that go along with that. And I'm not going to go into
Sure.
the tax weeds, but there are benefits financially from a tax perspective and leaving a legacy, making an impact in the communities that have supported us when we've built our businesses. It's a nice combination. So,
Okay. I like it. So it sounds like what I've heard was you're about to have more time.
mhm,
You want to focus on helping a specific group of people. You're going to be able to stay at home more and wear a bra less, which is
yeah,
great. You are going through this process and you want to help others and you have this certification. My understanding, and I'm definitely not knowledgeable about this like you are, is that a business owner who is beginning to consider an exit should start working on their books and financials and taxes in preparation 3 to 5 years before.
At a
Is that
at a
true?
minimum.
At a minimum?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, if we follow the Exit Planning Institute's
Yeah.
process, every year you should be looking at basically you go to a decide gate of do I want to sell or do I want to stay in my business? But you are making decisions and building your business in a way that makes it marketable every year. So every year you're asking yourself the question, do I want to stay in the business or do I want to sell the business?
Let
So
me.
you're always polishing the wheels, and that includes making sure your books are in order, making sure that you've got, diversity of customers, that you have good infrastructure in place with leadership. I mean, all the components of what makes a business valuable are the same components that make a business successful. So as we were working within our practice, and I feel like this is what exploded us, is when I did my business valuation, I started looking at all the factors that they measure and just said, I'm going to write my business plan around every one of these factors and drive my multiple, which my business went from 2 million to 7 million and just continued. And this last year was 16 million.
Congratulations, man.
So it's paying attention to the things that matter in the business, which are what make it valuable from a buyer's perspective. So it is less about I'm getting my toes at the finish line. It's more about how do I build my business in a way that makes it attractive, because you might not get to run the length of time in your business you choose to.
Mm-hmm.
There are D's that come along, like divorce, death, disability, disagreement. I mean, things that will throw you off course. And a lot of businesses do end up being sold because of a divorce or a death. And if there's no
Totally.
plan in place,
Yeah.
so if you're always looking at how do I present my business to the world in a way that someone would want to buy it, you're making good business decisions that make you more money yourself.
Got it. All right, we're gonna wrap up because I know I'm not sure how long we've been, but I think we've been here for a while. Because I think we could talk for a very long time. So, as you go into this new exploration, um, if you were able to find someone you could help right now and have an interesting conversation with, what would that entrepreneur? Are they in a specific industry? Are they in a specific geography?
No,
They're
that's the
just
beauty. It could be anywhere in the nation,
okay.
and it could really be any business, because we all fundamentally, like Vistage has taught me,
Yeah.
because we only have one person per industry in our group.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what industry we are in, we're all facing a lot of the same
for
issues.
sure.
And so that's not the limiting factor.
Okay.
It's more a matter of being open and willing to really to kind of dissect the business and look at things for what they are. Nobody wants to hear their baby's ugly,
Yeah.
right? And that's part of what we look at is how do we dissect it and make the things that aren't as appealing more appealing.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really have a description of who that person would be, and it doesn't need to be women.
Yeah.
It certainly can be men. I actually work very well with men.
Sure.
I always
So
say I'm more of a she man.
got it. Same. So basically anyone who one day at some point in the future may want to explore an exit,
Right.
right? And wants to prepare. All right, Jody, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you for joining us today. I'm Eve. This is Jody. She's fabulous. And this is the Braless Entrepreneur Podcast. You can watch all the episodes at ditchthebra.com.